Hi guys, are we alright? I'm just going to leave it another couple of minutes in case anyone else wants to join in, okay? Just get some water. Oh look, my dog wants to come in again today. So if anyone tuned into my class yesterday, my dog came and had a little dance, which was quite amusing. What's wrong? Oh, he does look sorry, doesn't he? Bless him. I've got two doorways into my lounge and he was just laying at the other one. And because I walked up the room, he's changed doors, bless him. Okay, so let's make a start. So remember, if you haven't done Pilates before, then we can stick to the level 1, the beginner level, okay? And then you can gradually increase the intensity as we go. There's nothing wrong with trying a higher level because you might be okay, but if something doesn't feel right, or if you're not balancing correctly or managing to breathe correctly, then go back down a level, okay? That will all make sense once we start the main exercises. I'll get you in a standing position first, talk to you about your core and your neutral spine, that's your posture, and then we'll do a little bit of a warm-up, nothing massive, you're not going to get a big sweat on or anything, it's just to literally to mobilise the body in preparation for the exercises that we're going to do, and then we come down to the floor, and once we're on the floor, we stay down on the floor, okay? So if we do something and you've got a knee problem or a back problem or anything like that, I'll try and make sure that I give you alternatives as I go. Any problems or anything, if you just drop a comment or leave a private message, then I can get back to those at the end of the session for you, okay? But for now, let's start. So nice and upright, nice and tall. Toes and knees point forwards, shoulders down, relaxed. Make sure that you're lengthened and you're upright. So you're gently going to rock forwards, backwards, side to side, making sure that you've got an even distribution of weight across both of your feet. You don't feel like you're lopsided, you don't feel like you're leaning. And we're finding our neutral spine, we're just tilting our pelvis forwards and backwards. We're finding the position where our back feels the most comfortable, okay? We're finding that natural lordotic curve, straight line from the head down to the heels. And then we're finding and engaging our core muscles. Now we'll start with our TBA, our transverse abdominals, our lower abdominals through the pelvic floor. So imagining your pelvic floor, which is your muscle you used to stop mid-flow, okay? I want you to imagine that muscle and imagine it's attached to a lift and draw it all the way up as far as it will go to floor number 10. Quite uncomfortable, you wouldn't be able to maintain it for long, so we'll take it down to floor 5 and then down to floor 3, and that's where we leave it, so we know we're holding it. Then imagine you've got a belt around your middle. I want you to pull those tummy muscles in as tight as you can, so the belt goes as tight as possible to notch 10, comes out to notch 5, out to notch 3, and we leave it there. So what we've got is minor engagement of the core muscles, 30%, level 3, notch 3, okay? Keep those core muscles engaged from this point on. Now, because we're holding from the core and we've got our neutral spine, our breathing then comes from our rib cage, okay? Hands on the ribs, fingertips touch. I don't want you to move your hands, I want you to breathe from the ribs. So we're going to take a deep breath in, opening through the rib cage, and release. Take a nice deep breath in, lateral thoracic breathing, and release. Relax the arms down, and we're just going to begin to pedal through our feet, one side to the other, raising up an alternating heel, and allowing our shoulders to gently rotate one way and the other way. And we're going to place the feet down, we're going to lift all the way up onto the toes, and release. Lift all the way up onto the toes, and release. One last one here, lift all the way up, lengthen the body, and release. Stepping out to the side, reaching up and over, lengthening through your waist, and the other side. Lateral flexion through the side of the body, opening through the rib cage, through the spine, lengthening right through that waist. And you're going to take one more to each side for me, please. Last one here. Coming into the center. Bring your arms up. You're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, rotate to one side. As you breathe in, come back to the middle. Breathe out, rotate to the other side. Breathe in, come back to the middle. Now breathe out, rotate. Follow the arm, follow the fingers with your head, and then bring it all the way back in. But try and keep your hips as still as you can. So the movement, the rotation is coming through your spine. Last one here. Into the center and release. So from here, I want you to find your balance. If your balance isn't great, then use the wall or something for a bit of support. Take your left foot forward, circle the leg round, lift the knee up and balance. Take the toe forwards, circle the leg round, lift the knee up and balance. And then from here, I want you to take the leg back and reach forward, only as far as comfortable. And then lift the knee up and balance. Ankle goes one way and the other, and place the foot down. Other foot comes forward, point the toe. Circle around, lift the knee and balance. Core muscles are in place, neutral spine is in place. Toe forwards, circle round, lift and balance. Hold it here. Sweep it back, reach forward, only as far as comfortable. If you need to keep that leg down, that is okay. And then lift that knee up, balance. Ankle one way and the other. And then place that foot down. So you're standing towards the back of your mat. Just caught mine with my foot and end up flinging myself across the room. Breathe in, tuck the chin to your chest. Breathe out, begin to roll down through your back. Soften your knees. Allow your arms to hang and relax like wet spaghetti. Then when you're ready, begin rolling up through the spine. Rebuilding your back vertebrae by vertebrae. All the way to the top. Relax the shoulders when you get there. Breathe in, chin to the chest. Breathe out, gently roll down through your back. Soften your knees. Allow the arms to hang and relax. And then when you're ready, begin to gently roll back up through the spine. Rebuild the back vertebrae by vertebrae. So this time we're going to roll down towards the floor, and once we get to our lowest point, we're going to bring our body down, okay? And we'll come onto our hands and knees. So breathe in, chin to the chest. Breathe out, gently lower. And then at your lowest point, you're going to walk yourself down onto your hands and knees. Now, hands and knees is your level 1 for your push-up, okay? You're going to breathe in, bring the chest down between the hands. And you're going to breathe out and push back up. It is a whole breath in to get down. And a whole breath out to lift up. So it's much, much slower than a conventional press up you would do in the gym or a fitness class. Level 2, legs further away. Breathe in as you lower. Breathe out as you lift. If you want level 3, you're up on those toes. Whole breath in to lower. Whole breath out to come up. Making sure it's your chest that's coming between those hands and not your head. Core muscles are zipped up, pulled in. You're breathing in as you lower towards the floor. And you're breathing out as you come back up. Working around the shoulders and across the chest, through the core, through the lumbar spine, if we're making sure that everything stays in place. So I'm going to ask you, please, for one more in your push-up, And then you're going to bring those arms forwards and down. And we're coming into a level 1 leg pull. So we've drawn up the pelvis, okay? But we've kept our knees on the floor, and that's level 1. Level 2, bring those knees up. If you want level 3, make sure the wrists and the elbows are under the shoulders and bring yourself all the way up. Now, keep holding, keep breathing, deep full breaths. It's very important that our posture is in place. So that means your head needs to be in line with your spine. So although you may be trying to look at a device to see what you're meant to be doing, just try and keep your head and neck in line. So once you've mastered the technique, then keep that head nice and still. In your level, continue to breathe and hold. Strengthen through the core and the lumbar spine. Deep, full breaths. Working directly into that tummy. Should feel some tightness across the middle of the body. So literally imagine I've got hold of your belly button and I'm pulling it up towards the ceiling. If you begin to shake or wobble, it's a sign of muscle fatigue. So have a rest and then join back in when you're ready. I'm just going to ask you for one more breath. And once you've completed that, you're going to carefully lower all the way down onto your front. Once you're down, I'd like you to extend your arms and your legs. Now your head, once you get going, is down. Okay, so forehead will be down, so we're not cranking our neck. I want you to engage your core, draw your belly button up by engaging through the middle of the body, so your belly button isn't touching the mat or the floor, whatever you're laying on. So you're going to take a breath in, you're going to point your fingers, point your toes, and as you breathe out, opposite arm and leg raise, and as you breathe in, they come back down. Breathe out to lift up, breathe in to lower down. Now your head should be down. I've just got mine raised slightly so that you can hear me rather than me talking into the floor. Breathing out as you lift and in as you lower. Now you're only lifting as far as comfortable for you, okay? Don't try and lift too high because then your technique will be rubbish, basically. You need to make sure that you're working at your best level, okay? And if that is maybe just doing the arms on their own, then that's fine. Or maybe just the leg on its own. And then that option of arm and leg together, breathing out to lift and in to release. Remember, full deep breaths. So your movement should be smooth and controlled. You are working at the pace of your breathing. So you should be moving very slowly because your breathing should be nice, full, deep breaths. We're not rushing our breathing. And I'm going to ask you, please, in swimming in this prone position, for one more on each side, please. Really point the fingers, point the toes. Breathe out to lift and in to lower. Once you've completed those two, slide the arms back under. We're going to come back to leg pull one more time before we move on to our side. So knees down at level 1, draw up the pelvis. Knees up at level 2. You're coming to level 3 or 4, you're coming right up on those hands. Keep looking down between your wrists. Engage your core. We're strengthening right through the middle of the body. Tightening through the core, strengthening through the lumbar spine. Deep, full breaths. And you can, of course, rest at any time. I'm just going to ask you for up to 3 more breaths in your level. that's up to 3. If you can only manage 1 or 2, absolutely fine. Once you've completed those, you're gently going to lower all the way down, and you're going to turn onto one side. Now, I want you to imagine that you're laying between 2 panes of glass. You can't roll forward, you can't roll backwards. So that body has to be in a nice straight line. Ankles, knees, hips, all on top of each other. This hand is there for your balance, and your head is resting down on your arm. So with our core engaged, we're going to breathe in. As we breathe out, we're going to raise both legs. Now those legs are stuck together, they move as one unit. Breathe in as you lower, and then breathe out to bring them back up. Hand is there for your balance to stop you rolling forwards or backwards. If your balance is good, if you've got the strength, the technique is there, then you're taking that hand away, placing it on the thigh. And then if you still want more, you can bring that arm over. Breathe out as you lift, in as you lower, just an inch from the floor, don't go all the way down. Breathe out as you lift, in as you release. We're working straight into the waist, into the obliques. As soon as those legs raise, those muscles begin to work. If you can balance, if you place your hand on your waist, as those legs come up, you may well feel it tightening through the side of the body. And in your side raise, I'm going to ask you please, for 2 more repetitions, that's 2 more breaths, breathing out to lift and in to lower. And once you've completed those 2, you can allow those legs to come all the way down onto the floor. Once those legs are down, keeping your head in place, you're going to bend your bottom leg so it's tucked back out of the way, and your top leg is going to remain straight. This time I would like you to point your toes directly forward, so the sole of your foot is now facing the side of the room. We're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, you're going to raise the top leg only, toes point forward, breathe in. As you breathe out, circle the top leg, 5 rotations from 1 breath out, then breathe in and hold, and then breathe out and circle back the other way. Breathe in and hold, breathe out and rotate. 1 leg circle, mobility and strength through your hip. You allow that leg to rotate in one direction for about 5 circles if you can. Then you stop, you take that breath in, you go again, changing the direction each time. Hand is there for balance, or take it away, or take it over. What I don't want you to do is move your whole body. It's just that leg rotating and working around the hip. So take that deep breath in. As you breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up to 5. Don't try and make them big circles, because you won't manage 5 from a single breath, okay? So it's as many circles as you can from 1 exhale. And in your leg circle, your hip circle, we're going to ask you please for 1 more in each direction. Then you can allow that leg to carefully lower, and if you need to rub the hip or anything, please feel free to do so. And then when you are ready, you're going to push yourself to sit. You're going to lengthen your back. You're going to have your legs bent and your feet down. Chin is up off that chest, okay? So you're going to breathe in and tilt the pelvis under, so you've created C-shaped spine. You're then going to bring your feet from the floor, so your big toes touch and your knees drop out, okay? So from there. Now, if you're unsure, if you think you might roll back or anything, you've got a couple of choices here. You can always keep your toes in contact with the floor, or you can always have those hands there for a little bit of balance, okay? So from here, you're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, you're going to lengthen one leg out, diagonally out to the corner. Breathe in and bring it in. And then the other leg. Breathe out to kick. Breathe in to return. So this is your open leg rocker. You're alternating from one leg to the other. If you want to go to the next level, both legs go together. But we're not rocking around on our bottom, okay? We're nice and stable. We're breathing out to lengthen and in to return. One leg only, level 1. Both legs together, level 2. That's your open leg. The rocker comes at level 3. Breathe out, roll back, kick. Breathe in and return. Coming all the way back up to where you started. Breathe out, roll back. Breathe in, return. So in your open leg rocker, I'm going to ask you please for one more with each leg if you're doing one at a time. And once you've completed those, allow one foot at a time to come back down. Lovely. And then from there, you're going to carefully come all the way down onto your back, legs out straight. Now you're going to point those toes away. You're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, you bring one leg straight up, toes to the ceiling. You breathe in. As you breathe out, you slowly allow the leg to begin lowering. Now the closer it gets to the floor, it's going to want to drop. Don't let it. Control it all the way down. Once that leg is down, breathe in, breathe out. Other leg comes up, point the toe, breathe in. As you breathe out, slowly begin to lower down through the leg. You can stop halfway, take another breath in, and then breathe out, continue all the way down. So you can do one leg at a time. If you want the full jackknife, this is called, both legs come up together. There's a small tilt on the pelvis. Gently begin to lower back down. Remember, when you get halfway, you can hold, breathe in, and then breathe out, continue. Don't let your legs drop down like that, okay? You've got to control them all the way to the floor. If your tummy starts to dome upwards, go back to the first level, okay? If your back is uncomfortable, go back to the first level. If bringing your leg all the way up here hurts, just bring it halfway up. Now there is another option here. Make sure I've got clear access behind my head. Breathe in, legs come up, and then they're coming all the way over. Oh, so the toes are to the floor, okay? And then from here, you gently have to get the back down first. So nice and carefully. Once the back is down on the floor, then you can continue the process of allowing those legs to come back down. Now if you're going to go for that option where the legs go all the way over, you're going to need to add an extra breath, okay? So jackknife, working at your level, one leg only, both legs together, or legs all the way up and over. Breathing out as you slowly lower, breathe in and hold. Breathe out as you continue to allow that leg to lower. So if you're doing one leg at a time, please do one more on each leg. If you're doing both legs together, just do one more. And once you've completed those, you're going to bend your legs and place your feet on the floor. So when you're ready, you're ending up on your back with your legs bent, core muscles in place, neutral spine in place. You may just need to tilt your pelvis a couple of times and find that comfortable position again. From here, you're going to breathe in, catching my head on my hair today. As you breathe out, you're going to bring one leg up to right angle position. Knee above the hip, ankle in line with the knee, right angle behind that knee. Breathe in. As you breathe out, you're going to touch the foot down. As you breathe in, bring that leg back up. We're going to breathe out, let that foot come down, keeping the other knee still. Breathe in and lift. Right angle in the knee, scissor. Now if you want to go to the next level, then you can have both legs lifted. And you can alternate which leg is moving. And then if you want to go further, as the leg comes back up, the other leg can already be moving. So they're crossing over midway. If you are just doing the one leg, do one more with that leg and then swap over. Breathing out as the foot lowers, in as it starts to raise, and the other leg is already going. Otherwise, we're just on that one leg. Breathe out to lower, in to lift, maintaining the right angle. Core muscles zipped up, shoulders down and relaxed. Strengthen through the middle of the body, through the core and the lumbar spine. And in your scissor, at the level you've chosen to work with, please complete 3 more breaths. And once you've completed those 3, you're going to end up with both feet back down on the floor, legs bent, feet down. I'm about as graceful as a blooming elephant, aren't I? I try. Good. Shoulders down and relaxed. So from here, this time you're going to bring one leg back up into right angle, and you're going to be bringing those arms up so the palms are facing inwards. Your fingers are pointing to the ceiling. Legs going to stay still, but your arms, one's going to go over and one's going to come down by your side. So you're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, arms separate, one goes over, one comes down. Then you breathe in, they meet in the middle, and breathe out and go the other way round. Breathe in, they come into the middle. Breathe out, they separate. Now, as long as you're comfortable, you can keep just that one leg up. If you feel like you can work harder, then you can bring the other leg up as well. But if it's too much, you can always keep both feet down on the floor and just use the arms on their own, okay? So let's say level 1 is just arms, level 2 is arms and one leg, and then level 3 is arms and both legs up. But those legs remain nice and still, and those core muscles remain engaged. If you wanted a level 4, then your legs could be lengthened to 45 degrees, but make sure tummy muscles are pulled in. Don't allow them to dome out. Breathe out to lower. If you've only got one leg up, swap legs now. Breathe out as it goes over, in as it comes to the middle. Core muscles zipped up. Remember, our neutral spine is in place, so we should be able to touch our fingers together under the small of our back. Don't let the legs get lazy. Don't drop the heels. Maintain that right angle behind the knee. I'm going to ask you, please, in this windmill, mobility around your shoulders, especially after those push-ups, for 3 more breaths, please. Once you've completed those 3 breaths, arms can float down, 1 foot at a time, carefully comes down. If you want to take a long body stretch here, you're welcome to do so. And then when you're ready, you're turning on to the other side. And we're lengthening that body out into a nice long line. Hips, knees, ankles, all stacked neatly. Head resting down on the arm. We take a breath in. As we breathe out, both legs lift up without rolling the hips. This hand is there for your balance. Breathe in as you lower and out as you come up. Breathe in as you lower. Keep those legs stuck together like glue. and breathe out as you lift up. Making sure that those hips remain in place. You're not rolling the body. Core muscles are zipped up. If you don't need the hand, you can place it on the thigh. You want to go a little bit further, then you're bringing that arm all the way over. Breathing out as you lift and in as you lower. Strengthen through the side of the body, through your waist. Tighten across your core, your lumbar spine. We're thinking about our balance, yes? And our posture helps to improve our balance. So good posture will help your balance. Breathe out as you lift, in as you release. And I'm going to ask you in your side raise for 2 more breaths, please. And then you can allow those legs to lower all the way down. So once the legs are down, don't let me rush you guys, because what I do is I tend to talk through an exercise and some of you may still be doing your repetitions, and that's absolutely fine, okay? I just don't want to have to cut off without you having done all of the exercises. From there, you're going to keep your top leg straight and you're just going to tuck your bottom leg behind you. Head is still resting down. This time the toes are pointing forwards, okay? So the sole of the foot is facing the side of the room. Breathe in. As you breathe out, leg comes up. Leg in line with your body. Breathe in. As you breathe out, circle. 5 rotations. Breathe in and hold. Breathe out, go back the other way. Breathe in and hold. Breathe out and rotate all the way round. Breathe in and hold. Breathe out and go round. So those core muscles zipped up, pulled in and engaged. You're allowing that leg to go in one direction from one breath, holding it, and then allowing it to rotate the other way with the other breath. All the time that body is nice and still. It's just the movement from the leg through the hip. You're not moving the ankle or the knee. You're moving from the top of the leg through the hip. One direction and then the other direction. And I'm just going to ask you please for one more in each direction. Once you've completed those 2, you can allow that leg to lower and give it a rub if you need to. So that's working around the top of this leg, around the hip and the bottom area. Still working the core and the lumbar spine because you've got that posture and that balance, and you're still working the waist because you're lying on your side. From here, you're going to bring yourself round into box position. Okay. So keeping the back nice and flat, keeping the core muscles zipped up. You're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, this is your last exercise, as you breathe out, you're just going to gently thread one arm through, then breathe in and bring the hand back. Breathe out, thread the other arm through, breathe in and bring that arm back. So it's just going to stretch round the shoulder. You've got to keep your back still. Don't allow your back to dip or arch. Keep it in place. There is a little bit of movement, a small rotation as the arm comes through and under, but you're keeping everything controlled. Breathe out as you rotate, as you circle that arm under. Breathe in as you return. So in this thread needle exercise, I'm just going to ask you please for one more on each side. Making sure those knees stay apart, the hips stay nice and still. And once you've completed those 2, just sit back on your heels and stretch out those arms. Good. You're going to bring those hands back. We're gently going to bring ourselves to stand. If you need to hold on to something to help you up, then please go towards what you need to hold on to. Otherwise, we're going to curl our toes under, coming into a crouched position. We're going to place our feet down, tuck the chin into the chest, and slowly rolling up through the back, rebuilding the spine vertebrae by vertebrae. As you reach the top, relaxing the shoulders down, lengthening the body out, the core, the neutral spine, everything in place for as much of the day as you can remember, right up until you get to bed. Lift up onto your toes. Are you balanced? And release. Good. Lift up onto the toes. Are you balanced? And release. Well done. Up onto the toes. Balance here. Close your eyes if you can. And release. Well done. So, there's your Pilates for today. I'll just check what we've got tomorrow. Hang on 1 second. And we are Thursday tomorrow. So 10 o'clock tomorrow we've got our combat hits, and then again at 4 o'clock tomorrow we've got legs, bumps and tums, okay? We'll be back with Pilates on Friday morning at 10, okay? So well done. Remember, if you've got any problems, any queries, drop a comment and I'll get back to you when I can. Well done, take care.